It's some episode of the show. All you need to know is the time of Empyrean is over, and the time of... God damn it, James. 7 Days to Die has started. 3 of the 5 people who were online for Horde Night died pretty much instantly. I survived using the power of the Kalishnikov. It turns out that when 3 zombies run up a ladder and storm the door, if you just whip out a assault rifle and ride the recoil up to their heads, it works out pretty well.
How'd you go with the Horde Night?
I mean, my defensive strategy was like, I'm gonna funnel them through here, and the zombies were like, woohoo, look at this, we can jump. And I was like, yeah, I planned for that. And they were like, yeah, but did you know we can jump exactly this far? And I was like, I did not plan for that. So they avoided my funnel and went up to my emergency back door. So I spent all of Horde Night fighting, hanging out the side of a building, firing arrows until they got too close, and I slammed the door in their face. So I was like, oh god, what am I gonna do? And then I was like, oh wait, I have an assault rifle. I'm not afraid of you.
But you liking the game though, Arthur? Like,
it's extremely punishing. So Horde Night was literally...
Until you get to a certain point, and then it will be... then it won't be.
Horde Night was like less than 40 minutes ago, so I logged out immediately after Horde Night. I have 10% food left, and I'm so crippled I can barely move as a result of not having any food. And the trader won't accept any of the goods that I have for money, so I can't buy food. So I'm gonna have to hope that when I log back in, a nice juicy deer walks right past me in arrow range. Otherwise, I'm gonna die of starvation. And Jimmy D NASCAR Jr. will die once again, and a new character. So I've been naming all my characters, but every time they die, I switch characters.
I see.
So we had Hank Tankerson Jr., William Worthington, Esquire. I had some other guy who was a day trader. Then we had Jimmy Dean and Jimmy Dean Jr. And I'm probably going to have to make up a new one now.
Let's see.
Anaximander Babbage. There we go. All right, so yeah, if you're into zombie games and watching all of your beautiful work be ruined in moments by the fact that the AI can jump 1 square farther than you thought. 7 Days to Die.
So when you say squares, this is like a tactical, like a strategy game, or is it like
Voxel. It's Voxel.
Okay.
It's first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Games and
survival. They just they can jump slightly longer than 1 square, which means they were able to jump over my traps and land on the small, safe island that has a ladder up to the back of my emergency tower. Thank you for inquiring, James. You know, I'm always glad.
Are you not streaming 7 Days to Die? I haven't seen any streams up on your channel.
That's because it was literally just today. It started at noon.
So
and I wasn't streaming it. I'm recording it, and you know what? The recording is terrible because it's literally just like 6 hours of me chopping down trees and 2 hours of me going, oh god, how does Save have 15 recipes? I can't get 5 feet into this creamery factory before 3 zombies drop out of the ceiling and maul me near to death. And then I spend the rest of the day hiding in a hole digging up clay.
you get used to it.
What's that? Sorry, Pondo will edit you up a highlight reel. Oh, that's nice, Pondo.
I see. The thing is I always remember the Sea of Thieves highlight reel where Pondo was like, I'll just take all the action shots. And I was like, no, I was below decks the whole time. All of the funny dialogue happened in between the action shots. The action shots were nothing. This is why you have to communicate with your editor's friends, which is something I haven't done. Also,
you did. That's what you told me to do.
Last time I checked, Pondo is super busy, but if you want to talk about editing, we can. I mean, you could. The key moment of 7 Days to Die was me going, "Huh, shit, I'm in real trouble, huh? No, wait, I have an assault rifle." You know, speaking
and then
of someone,
do like a just do a black panel of how you found the assault rifle, and that's the whole video, right?
I bought it.
Perfect.
The first
You
day.
bought it?
Yeah, I bought it. The trader. I was literally
How
like,
expensive was that?
Well, I found
About
some
$4
gold
grand?
nuggets and some silver nuggets on day one.
That'll
So
do it.
yeah, it was only 440, so it wasn't really that expensive.
Level 2.
There are some incredibly expensive pistols and stuff that they sell with 9mm that are semi-automatic and useless. So
Yeah.
yeah, the AK-47 has been pretty good. You know, speaking of people playing 7 Days to Die, Dave.
I played it. I am a veteran of that game.
I don't understand how you do what you do. I'm in the big town in the burned lands, and you're like, oh yeah, I looted like 15 things, and I'm like, clearing one building takes me an entire day.
Yeah.
It's a whole fucking hour, and you're like, oh man, we just cleared like 10 things, and I got like 15 skill books, and I'm like, I have never seen a skill book with my own eyes. I'm covered in dead zombies.
I've only heard legends.
Legends. Yeah. It's true.
To be fair, I've got like a it's after you've played the game for so long, it's like
you want to invest in luck. It's very key.
I did. That was the first thing I invested in. It crippled me.
Yeah,
I have level 2 looting luck since the beginning of the game, and now I'm like, all right, now I have to wait 2 hours to level up in order to get a fucking forge.
Yeah, you kind of need to up the XP gain in that game because it's
no, I think it's not so bad.
Everyone should suffer forever.
Yeah,
that's the experience I'm looking to deliver.
The problem with the builds though is that you need to group up to get like the fast XP essentially. Like you need to roll with the homies and go knock some brains in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just don't get enough XP. Like that's just how it goes. Because most zombies can, annihilate you pretty quickly. But I don't know, that game for me is very much like a loot game. And after a certain while, you start to notice like things. Like, for example, the most important loot crates are generally the ones that, you have to climb to the very top of something to get to, or they look like a bookshelf, right? Like that's the two. That's the two differences there.
I've never seen a bookshelf, Dave.
Yeah, they just look like it just looks like a shelf with books in it. And
I assume that's what they look like.
Yeah.
But my eyes have never gazed upon them.
But in all honesty, like every single piece of loot on the ground, like you'll see like a piece of trash on the ground has the same amount of spawn rate of spawning anything else that you can find. So basically if you just loot literally everything, including toilets, you'll basically have the same loot pools.
I think I need to stop looting in the burn zone. I think that's what's screwing me over.
Yeah, burn zone sucks.
Yeah, it has sucked.
There's the legendary toilet gun. When you loot a toilet and find a pistol.
I found ammo. I haven't found
what is this, the fucking yet. Mafia?
I mean, in
La Casa Nostra?
Yeah, basically. You always loot the toilet because there's a chance that it's either murky water or a 9mm pistol.
Or poopy.
Yeah.
It can be poopy.
I've seen ammo. That's the best I've seen in a toilet, aside from murky water.
Yeah, I mean, like, finding skill books is kind of fun. Like I found a healing bandages skill book just as I quit, and that was fun. So I'll probably be building lots of those for people. I don't know. I got my second jab today, so I'm feeling kind of poo-poo at the moment. So that's probably why I'm just sitting here in the dark being like, meh.
We'll do a 3-hour episode.
Or something.
90% of it will be discussing card games.
And us cleaning out Pierre. He's gonna be zero wealth factor.
Pierre is gonna fucking Seto Kaiba, you guys. Fuck the rules. I have money.
There'll be a scene at the end of the episode where it's just one of you going, "Look at me, I'm the rogue trader now."
It'll be Don. It'll be Don doing that.
You're playing against someone who has no monetary value of like who has no need for monetary things, and is only in it for the love of the game, right? Like that's who Dawn is. So I'm excited to get into that. But yeah.
She's Kevin Costner's character, and for the love of the game.
I don't know.
Just imagine Dawn just betting up. Was like, all right, here's my smut that I have. What are you guys anything up?
It's like a history, like a family tree history book. It's like, yeah, bring it.
I'm all in.
Pierre throws in like a full 3-course meal by the chefs.
Some of those bottles of his Ronka.
Some bottles of Ronka.
The lowest bid.
I love that the Ronka is like the novelty bid, right? It's like,
Yeah.
No, Ronka is one chip.
Yeah, it's the single chip. That's your ante is a bottle of Ronka.
At the end of the game, you slide the dealer 10 Ronka bottles.
Just like the crate, just clink.
You got anything else going on, Dave?
I mean, like outside of like doing baby shit, I don't know, man. Like, got that baby coming, and it's kind of changed a lot of shit. Like, we were like looking into like houses pretty hard, and now that's become like an even bigger equation. Like, oh shit, man, like we just need to get this thing started so that we can, because when you get the mortgage started, it'll be cheaper than rent, right? So to a degree, so it'd be better for us to be on the mortgage, but like it's I don't know, there's a bunch of weird shit in Poland, like I don't know. It's a weird place to have a baby, that's for sure. Yeah, that's me. Thanks.
Okay. Big spoon.
Yeah, I mean, mask mandate got lifted without warning, really, here.
Oh yeah, that happened here too. Like you can go outside now without a mask on.
Yeah,
it's like okay.
I went and ate in a restaurant for the first time in a year and a half with some friends.
You're insane.
I mean, it was basically empty because we went at like 3:00 in the afternoon. But
were they all vaccinated?
I don't know, but everybody working there was wearing a mask, and we also still wore masks, and we were all vaccinated. So, but
what'd you eat?
Enchiladas. It was a restaurant called Los Amigos. It's pretty good. So yeah, and then I've got coming up in, let's see, today's the 15th. In like 3 weeks, I'm going to be going down to Texas for a convention. First time getting back to that. I usually go to 3 or 4 a year, but last year didn't go to any because they were all canceled, and rightly so. So this is the first one back, testing it out. It's a pretty small con. It's a North Texas RPG con. Usually about less than 500 people in a hotel. So.
In a hotel, man.
Yeah, I mean it's a big ass hotel. Like it's a hotel that's made for conventions like this, basically. But I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing some of my friends who live a little bit further away. I finished the first season. I figured I would start watching the first season of Love, Death, and Robots because the second season's already out.
You got to the Cattle Tech episode then.
I did. Yes, I got Suits. It was pretty good. I liked it. I think I'm going to enjoy. I've enjoyed the first season far more than I'm going to enjoy the second season. Mostly because the first season there was like 18 or something episodes, and they were all really good. And the second season's like 6 episodes. And the first one I was like, okay, this was kind of funny, but not really fantastic. But so we'll see how the second season goes. I think my favorites from season 1 were Suits, which is the Caltech episode. The
Soviet Union.
That one was pretty good as well.
Beyond the Rim.
Beyond Aquila Rift.
Yeah.
Was really good. So that one, the Soviets one, the Caltech one, the underground beast fighting ring one.
Sunny's Edge.
Sunny's Edge. Yeah, Sunny's Edge. That one. I think Sunny's Edge might have been my favorite one overall. And then I don't know if James, if this is where you have pulled the call sign for the gun cutter.
Yeah, Lucky 13. Yeah, that's where I saw it from.
Okay,
yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, because that's also one of my top 3. Like that one was really, really good. So, and then
he mentioned it at the time when he named it. That was what it was.
Okay, from. Yeah. And then the Werewolf Marines one was pretty good.
I did not like that one. No. Yeah. The Marines all treating the one Marine like shit was really fucked up.
Yep. Yeah, didn't say it was right. I just said it was a good short.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for me. We'll see how season 2 goes.
Wait for someone to just be like, "Yes, I ordered the code red." It was pretty hammed up. Yeah. Expecting virtual Tom Cruise to walk in and start a court case, free the werewolves. You know, speaking of someone who is a werewolf, Pano the Man. Pano, I don't know if you know this, but in Ranch Simulator, the default main character basically is you. Did Cotton send you the picture?
No.
All right, I'll send it to you. It's pretty good.
Ranch Simulator?
Yeah, it's the thing I was talking to you about where we're going to role play.
Okay, you never sent me like a name or anything? You just...
Yeah, it's called Ranch Simulator.
Okay.
Let's see. Go on with your intro, don't worry. I'll get you some memes, some hot, fresh memes.
No, not much has been going on as far as that. Just doing little things around the house. Something there. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to hop on Subsidy Dive because I've been pretty much driving all day.
There you go, Pondo. Like looking in a mirror.
Oh yeah, she did show me this. I don't know. I don't really see it.
It's close enough. It's definitely close enough.
I suppose it's missing a flannel shirt though.
Where'd you post this?
Just directly to him. The hair is reversed, and it doesn't have a beard, but
yeah. But it is close. It is close enough.
Oh, you want to see my doppelganger? It's kind of funny, actually. Because my doppelganger is a fucking wrestler. Like, legit a wrestler.
Yeah, no.
Where was he? Oh, here he is. Oh my god. Check that shit out.
Huh.
Wow. Yep. I definitely see it. For sure.
Yeah. No, I did find out that I was going to get fitted for a tux, but I found out that we're going to be renting for my best friend's wedding, because I'm going to be best man because he was the best man for mine. So I didn't find out that we're not renting the tux. We're buying a suit. And so far, the suit can be anywhere between, what I'm guessing, about $500 to $700 for something I want to wear probably once.
Why would you buy it? Like, is that a mandate from the groom? Like, what's the deal there?
I don't know. I'm trying to get a hold of him to figure out what's going on. Because
it's fucking goddamn.
It's a lot of money to be using something I'm going to wear maybe once. It was like the jacket the guy showed me first was like $400. So it'd be about $500 to $600, or about $500 after it getting fitted.
There's another way to do this, Pondo. You can go to like I don't want to call them pawn shops, but like discount clothing stores for like used clothes.
Thrift stores?
Yeah. Yes, that's what you would call it. Right. Yes.
There's a whole song about it.
Yep.
You can usually get a pretty good, I mean, especially for someone with your build, getting a suit that will fit you and will look pretty good for like
you just take $20 in your pocket.
Okay, you can. Now I understand what it's like when I meme on everybody else, and it must be worse because I meme about really obscure shit that no one's ever heard of except like one guy in the audience. Yes, you could do it with $20 in your pocket.
Yeah.
I would seriously advise you to at least check it out.
that might be. Yeah, I definitely don't look forward to having to spend $700. So I'd probably figure out if that's the case, but I have to get a hold of him first, see what's going on. I don't know if it's he didn't understand what he was doing by when he was setting it up, or if it's his bride to be. I don't know.
Yeah, having groomsmen buy the suits or tuxes they wear to the wedding is very odd.
Yeah, it's too expensive for a suit.
Yeah,
For something that you're not. It's usually something that's very one case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, we're gonna go get married in France. So can you come down? I mean, it's for our wedding, you know. Just fly on down to Europe.
You're
Come on.
sounding like someone who arranges for destination theme weddings. It's
Can I
not
get
bad
married on
enough
the
that
beach
it's a
in Bali?
destination, but the theme part makes it insufferable.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone must be wearing sequins cowboy outfits.
That's what the theme is.
Hey, you know, they're going to come down to the aisle to Rhinestone Cowboy.
In France.
I think it'd be funnier if it was the meme thing where it has the cowboys screaming that are part of the background.
Yes. Yeah.
You mean fucking what's his name?
I don't
No,
remember.
he's a really popular Australian singer. What was his fucking name?
Is he?
Jimmy
I don't remember what the
Barnes.
video was called.
It's Jimmy Barnes. I'm pretty sure it's Jimmy Barnes. Yeah, he's yeah.
Who runs is Scottish?
Jimmy Barnes, yep. The Screaming Cowboy.
Oh yeah, I'll be damned. All right, yeah. All right. Yeah, pretty much that guy. That would totally make the whole wedding. Wouldn't irritate anybody.
Hey, Jimmy Barnes is not Australian? I thought he was.
No, he's Scottish, born in Scotland.
Don't worry.
He's Australian.
In the last
songwriter,
episode,
though.
I learned that Kano wasn't actually Australian in the first movie, and that was devastating to me.
Oh, I watched that actually. Yeah, he stole the fucking movie.
Are you talking
You really
about
did,
one or two?
The most recent one.
I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it some.
And he I was really disappointed by the action sequences in that movie. Like they really needed to train their actors better or something, because it's kind of poor. But it's okay.
I feel like the Sub-Zero Scorpion fight at the beginning of the movie was probably the best best out of the whole thing.
You could tell that those two were like actual trained martial artists, and then the other people were just like,
yeah, they did like a 3-month boot camp.
yeah.
That's where all their budget went, was the first two guys.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Except for Kano, he was just intentionally slow moving, I think. So it's like, Kano wins. Fucking Jesus.
He wasn't there for his fighting ability, that's for sure.
Oh, exactly. It's fine when he's there for other stuff, but yeah.
I mean, Josh Lawson is a comic. He's a stand-up comic.
Yeah. He did a good job. I actually laughed out loud when he got his special ability.
Well, yeah, when he gets his eye laser.
Oh my god. Just like I haven't done that in a long time in a movie, but you know, even my wife laughed at that, so it was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's been my week, yeah.
Okay. Well, James, well. So we come back to you, huh?
I guess so. What have I done this week? Like I finally got Mass Effect Legendary Edition, but I've had so little time to play it, unfortunately, because we had guests at our house on Saturday, and yeah, so I think I've gotten through like Eden Prime and half of the first visit to the Citadel, so not making the sort of progress I want. And this afternoon I'm driving down to Canberra for the next 4 days, so I won't get a chance to play while I'm away either. So yeah, I'm sadly neglecting my Mass Effect duties.
Sounds like a great time to listen to APGamingREAL videos, though.
So funnily enough, I'm actually driving people down to Canberra as well this afternoon.
Sounds like a great time to introduce more people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I can let my freak flag fly by introducing some of my co-workers. Actually, now my direct reports to APGamingREAL. So, okay, guys.
Oh, well, that's inappropriate. That is inappropriate.
This will be on the quarterly review.
Yeah. Other than that, I've been spending a lot of time this week. I have not been a huge converter of miniatures in the past, but with my new project I put on the video up on last week, I've really been like buying like 4 kits and then combining them into like one model to try and get what I wanted to out of some conversions. So yeah,
I watched that. I was looking forward to the projections.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So the next sorry?
Sorry, not the projections, the results of your projections. There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Trying to make it sound businessy.
Yeah, so
I'm not a big model guy, but are you making like a Frankenstein then? Like is that what it is? Like this dude has like a minigun now because I wanted him to have one. Is it like that or like?
So I guess to put in perspective, Dave, for a long while the game used to allow you to sort of, whenever you took certain models, you could have quite a lot of selection about what weapons they might have. And one of the things that Games Workshop changed in the most recent editions is they've really limited your options to how the model is sold. So if it only comes with 2 weapon choices out of the packet, you only get those 2 choices when you take the model in your army list now. But there are still a few things that have still options for them, and a few models which don't technically exist but have stat sheets. So I've decided to like make up my own models as such by combining pieces for other models, and so sometimes it's kit bashing, like literally just I put the arm from this kit on the body from this kit, and sometimes it's actual conversion, like I've got to actually cut up parts or use green stuff to make extra detail. So that's what I'm currently working on.
Are you trying to figure out how to do the fur?
I've seen some good stuff about using green stuff to do fur. Thankfully, I've got quite a few model options that already have fur in some respect. Like I did buy a lot of the sort of the various generic accessory packets you can get, which just give you parts of like different heads and shoulder pads, that sort of stuff. So it's turning into an expensive army because like I said, I've got to buy 4 $60 kits to make one model. I have a lot of parts left over, but at this setup stage it's costing me a lot. But and speaking of costing me a lot, the other good news is my car should actually now get here this week. I thought it was going to be last week, but apparently there was an issue with unloading another car at the dock that resulted in someone getting injured, so the union shut the dock down to investigate the injury. So that delayed my car being delayed by a week, but I should get it this week when I get back from Canberra.
Wow.
So what's the total transit time of this car? Like when did you first?
I ordered in the second week of November, so it'd be just over 6 months.
Oh boy!
Now, speaking of kit bashing, James, I want to throw something at you real quick.
Okay.
Imagine a Raven battle mech. You strip everything out of it and you stick a Gauss rifle where its right wing should be.
I'm pretty sure.
Broke?
I'm trying to think, because I know I experimented with what was the lightest mech I could put a heavy Gauss rifle into. And I made up a fictional mech called the Glass Cannon, which was a 35-ton mech with a heavy Gauss rifle.
So a Hollander 2. That you invented a Hollander 2, James.
But a Hollander is 55 tons, isn't it? From memory,
no, it's 35.
No?
Hollander 2 is 40.
Yeah, a Hollander 2 is a little bit heavier.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what the lightest mech you can put an actual Gauss rifle into.
I assure you can do it with a Raven.
You can, okay.
Oh yeah, you just can't put anything else in there, including armor.
Let's say a heavy Gauss rifle is like 20 tons on its own.
Yeah, coming to Solaris Night soon.
Yeah,
I'm on it.
to the arena nearest you.
After I debuted it, 3 people sent me different but similar builds of other mechs, and I was just like, all right, this is a pack hunter, this is also a pack hunter, this is a Hollander. Like, great job, guys, you've invented mechs that already exist.
You've reinvented the mech.
They did, however, come up with like alternate pilot SPA builds, which I think are pretty interesting, that I'll probably throw at Dunamis. over and over again, just to make him suffer.
Is it just a bunch of light mechs?
Yeah.
Did no one make anything else?
Well, that's because they're all fans of the light mech division.
Okay.
You know, I have to tell you, the light mech division is incredibly popular.
It's because it's
The heavy mech division is where all the drama happens, because that's Seth and Kyle, and they always fuck shit up really badly.
Oh, I mean, come on.
And then there's the assault mech division with Gleemo,
who just keeps killing people.
it's coming a bloody mess.
Yeah.
Because we're talking AP about trying to get art done for mechs, and what I did with my Solaris campaign was I looked at on MechWarrior Online what chassis options were limited to in terms of what weapon types you could have in each location, and I made sure that all the mechs I created, conform to that sort of selection of weapons in slots. I didn't care about the armor as such. What it meant I could do is I could use like the workshop in MechWarrior Online to create a mech that had all the right gun barrels in the right places, and then screenshot that. And that's how. And I just put like
I need it for merch, so I need it to be legally created by someone, and yet distinct from the original BattleTech for legal purposes. It's a complicated road, James.
I mean, this is part of the news this week. I actually posted a meme on Discord before that another YouTube channel which does like Warhammer 40K fan films is like taken all their films out and put it out this week saying, Games Workshop has contacted me and we're we're going to be working together now. But I've taken all my videos down, and of course they haven't appeared anywhere else yet. And a lot of people are speculating as to whether Games Workshop offered them the same money they're getting from YouTube, was pretty much said, you can have this money or we'll see you in court. So
I feel like it might be the latter.
I feel like it might be both.
Yeah. I mean like the guy that was doing Astartes was like, he had like 10,000 Patreon followers who were paying him to shut his Patreon down, for example. So, he was making, a lot of money with that project. And I look, I guess a full-time job in the UK, you could probably make what, 55, 70, between 55 and 70,000 pounds a year as a 3D artist potentially. I don't know.
What's a pound even worth anymore after Brexit? I don't fucking know. The US dollar is just like, whoa, what's up, guys? Woo! It's the green wave. Am I up? Am I down? I don't know, James. I don't know what fucking currency is. Is the euro the hardest currency right now? Is that real?
Yeah, Euro's pretty rough.
Are we Cyberpunk 2020?
No, actually, Arthur, it's all shitcoin now. So
Yes, of course. Totally unregulated cryptocurrency that gets pumped and dumped by billionaires live on television. Literally just like, yes, that's right. I am the father of Bitcoin. Join me, cryptocurrency cultists.
So the pound is still stronger than the euro. The pound is $1.41 US and the euro is $1.21 US today's trading.
Okay. Is that because no one's buying the pound?
I mean, the pound's always been, a relatively strong.
It used to be about 175.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder what's going to happen when the Queen kicks the bucket. Do you reckon it'll go down or go up?
That's assuming the Queen's going to die, Dave.
Did I tell you the conversation I had this week with one of my staff members about the concerns around war in the Asia Pacific region?
No, you didn't.
Because he said to me, because we've had a lot of problems with stock supply recently, and we've now had this big issue with hard drives because of the new cryptocurrency coming out, which uses hard drives for mining, and there's been a lot of news around, the South China Sea, and he said to me, what's our contingency plan if there's actually like a hot war over Taiwan or around China, because that's going to affect our stock supply. I said, look, I wouldn't worry about it. If there's a hot war in the South China Sea, getting stock's going to be the least of our problems. Everything will go to shit in terms of economies. We won't be worrying about where do we get our bits and bobs from. We'll be worrying about.
Look forward to the internet going away.
Do we have enough electricity to keep our house going, or where will I get food for my family?
Yeah.
So. But
why you gotta buy an underground bunker right now?
That's what I say. It's how fast can you dig a hole for a bunker?
Yeah, unfortunately, I was about a foot of dirt before bedrock under my house. So,
Oh, yeah, you hit the bedrock, it makes a special noise, so you can't go any further.
Yeah, then you just got to go to the nether
Oh, James,
region,
that's your problem. You build at negative 255. Should have chosen to live on top of a mesa.
Gotta build that obsidian portal and make a house in the nether.
I'll never forget playing Minecraft and James being like, "My son says you're bad at Minecraft," and I was like, "That hurt." Genuinely.
Well, it's probably because he was right.
hey,
You wouldn't know. You've never seen me play Minecraft. You know what? Some people say I'm good at it.
Just so you know, my son is 9 years old, and I don't listen to anything he says either. Like he is definitely full of
That's
shit.
okay. As you may know, I'm in tune with the youth, my Zoomy brothers.
I was going to say, if there's ever a topic to listen to a 9-year-old's opinion on, it's whether or not someone's good at Minecraft.
Listen, man, I learned the new hot term going around on the internet now: scuffed.
What?
Okay.
How is that a new term?
Listen. All the Zooms are using it, man.
So tell me what it means in the context that you're talking about.
Like messing something up, like, oh, I scuffed my car. It's like that. Like you do that for, oh man, you really scuffed this situation up. Dang, our getaway was really scuffed. Oh man, we thought we were gonna win, but we scuffed it up.
Arthur, we've been saying scuffed for like ruined shoes since before the age of man.
But now it's a slang word for everything. Look, man, we said cool for thousands of years.
I see they've reinvented a word from the English language.
Yeah.
That's like when everyone was so proud of themselves for coming up with the word sus, and I'm like, what? We've been saying that for like fucking a long time.
I'm sorry,
like,
Dave. I can't explain slang to you, okay?
There is literally people on Twitter that are upset that someone used the word sus, and it's like, stop using the word sus. It's so immature and blah blah blah. It's like, what? That word's been around longer than you've been born.
That's okay.
What the fuck?
I actually don't like the word sus.
I know you didn't like it at the time.
Shorthand. You should just say suspicious. It's almost as long. I mean,
or suspect
verbally.
I was like, what was the film where Thor said, where they said, you made that word up? He's like, all words are made up words. It's like, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I took a semester of Groot in college.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, what was that? 2,000 years ago? Not bad.
Man, imagine remembering the language you learned in high school. Yeah,
I did.
We could all be like,
I learned
German
Russian
in high school.
Well, okay, fine, shut up.
Okay.
Jeez, imagine being Dave and not remembering the language you learned in high school.
Okay.
Imagine having a fucking scuffed memory like me.
You had to learn American English alongside Australian English. So.
Listen, I can ask where a lot of stuff is in Spanish, and that's about it.
Trying to learn Polish, right?
It's actually just you say Donde Esther and then put in the English word. Is that how you do it? I always love the people that think that the best way to communicate with someone that doesn't speak English is to say it louder and slower.
Yeah.
Or add like a vowel on the end, like recito.
Yes.
Hey, listen, if there's one thing I've learned at looking at Australian slang, that is how you do it in Australian. You just say half the word and put an O at the end of it. Sarfo. Sav cab.
All right.
Cabernet Sauvignon. Cab Sav.
Yeah, Cab Sav, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Cab Sav. Yeah, James knows what I'm talking about. Wine lovers know.
I haven't been in Australia for almost 15 years, okay? Leave me alone.
Okay. I am leaving. Listen, Dave, I'm not coming at you about it this time. I did on Wednesday, and that's all I needed.
Look, my new 5G implant is making me paranoid,
okay? Jesus. Man, that joke wasn't funny for the first person who made it. It still won't be.
It's going to be funny for at least 3 more years.
When they finally release 5G? Sure.
Oh, no, when they rebuild all the towers that were knocked down.
All right, James.
All right. You got anything else, Arthur, or you want to make a note of the time?
Oh, I've already made a note of the time.
Okay.
2020 was good. I'll say that. I forgot about 2020. Saw that. Good show. All right, I'm done.
All right. Previously on Rogue Trader, Tide of Iron, Telmain's Parrington, XO of the Hand of Calixis, is promoted to Captain of the Gilded Throne, though his notes as to a replacement leave a question with Pierre Cowles. Contact is made with Captain Jacinto Ertelt of the Fist of Ruin regarding the possibility of bringing his patrol group temporarily into the Cowles fleet for the assault in the Moor. Later, the group meets with Ertelt and fellow captains Samara Bradice and Henriette Insomnia aboard the Fist to formalize the alliance. Adrian Thorne is promoted to First Officer of the Hand, and finally the stage is set for Pierre Cowles to attend a card game being held in the lower decks of the ship. Thought for the day, even a man who has nothing can still offer his life. So I need your help for a second, Arthur, from your notes. I did not have in my notes, I didn't want to rewatch the episode, the name of the worker who is organizing said card game.
Guido Berth?
Guido,
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
Deck Officer Guido Berth.
Yeah.
The guy who sounds like he was from Sopranos in Waste Management. That's the perfect.
Don't worry. Waste management is still a keyword for Mafia. That hasn't changed since The Sopranos.
Yeah, I know.
And it doesn't matter what country you're in. That's still true all across the world.
It's very universal for that.
Don't at me, the Mafia. I won't survive it.
So, is there any other prep that anybody requires prior to turning up to Saturday night's card game?
I do have prep, James.
You have prep? Right.
Yes.
Was there a Nero recap required as well?
No. Nero's prep is just so that we're aware. He is waiting outside the room where it happens for Guido Berth to leave.
So Nero is not attending the card game.
Nero was invited. So
you're waiting outside the card game room.
Yes,
I agree. He would be a buzzkill. Good call there, Pierre.
Nero is going to wait, and he's going to have a nearby hallway that's very narrow, have intermittent flickering light, so that when the game ends, he can pull Guido into this spooky hallway and then use his massive size advantage to help intimidate this guy.
What do they call that Japanese move where they lean their shoulder above the girl's head? Sort of thing? Yeah, that's what you'll do to this guy, right?
Well, I'll do the kick kabedon, which is where you get your leg over them and then you put your thigh in their face.
Oh, the Commander Riker. Yes.
that's different but similar.
Same school of thought.
He's out of line, but he's right.
We call that the half Japanese pitch, right? half Riker Japanese pitch, you know.
So sorry, you're going to sit there before the game?
Yep, I'm going to wait until the game exits, and then I'm going to snag this guy and drag him into the dark, spooky, small hallway that I'm much bigger than I'm in.
Okay. And the other three of you are all going to the game, is that right?
Okay, because I thought it was just Pierre was originally the one invited, and then Dawn got excited about it because she just heard mention of it. Is Adrian joining as well?
If he's invited, Adrian will go. However, I do think he says something. I think one of us might need to stay on the bridge, sir. If unless you specifically will request I attend, I will remain absent just in case anything happens that needs to be taken care of.
No,
it sounds like you're making an excuse where I won't take your money.
Don, you're very aggressive.
It sounds like I'm coming to the game, sir.
Lord Captain, this is my entire personality. I have nothing else other than this.
Wow.
This is a little bit different than your typical aggression, I should say.
I have a problem, Lord Captain, and that problem is being too good at playing poker.
Very well.
Was there a lot of cards played at the monastery where you grew up?
That is how we determine our rankings for the most part.
I see.
Not so much the official rankings, but the pecking order.
Mm. I can understand that. There's a very similar thing that happens aboard Navy vessels.
She might be the mother on her robes, but no, she's my bitch most of the time.
I feel like this is just straight up heresy here.
It's treading awfully close.
If I seem to recall we're the ones who determine what's heretical or not. So.
I mean, I seem to recall that the head of your order is secretly a worshipper of the god of fate, so probably does quite well at the table.
This is all interesting information that I'm going to have to soak in for later. I have to comprehend that someone bad at cards who is on the top of the pecking order typically is now at the bottom. Sure.
Love the idea that this is canon in this game world now, where like you can go to a battle, sister of battle, and be like, "I bet,
Yeah.
I bet it won't work for me." And she just slams down like her like special golden inlaid like card deck, and she's like, "Fine, let's go."
Yeah, so, yeah.
Emperor's Wild.
$50 if you can't hit that.
It's just every sister of battle now has a gambling problem.
All right, so as you guys are heading there, so Nero, where you all sort of sitting up, first off, Sargon passes by your way, and she comes over to see you as well.
Okay.
So, or you wanting to be hidden completely from?
I'll talk to Sargon, but for anybody else, I'm just kind of lurking in the shadows. Like I don't want this guy to see me going in. I want to catch him on his way out.
Okay.
Teach him.
I mean, probably what's happened is that Sargon's actually like voxed you a few moments ago, saying, where are you? Can we catch up briefly?
Okay. I step out of the darkness near her, and I go, "Yes, Sargon. It is I, Nero Julius Augustus Bullet."
You're not joining the game today?
I wasn't invited. I also don't like gambling. I don't do it very often, just like I don't drink very often.
But I will stalk the entrance to the room, just like any normal person would.
So, I got to say, it's pretty common knowledge on the ship now the captain is taking part tonight. What happens here, if he suddenly walks out and shuts this whole thing down, or arrests people involved, whatever, it could hit the morale of the crew. Everyone's watching to see what happens tonight.
The captain is new at captaining, but he is the captain. He may not understand the interactions of the junior officers, but this is the ideal time for him to learn. You should know, however, Sargon, that his use for my opinion on this subject is nearly zero, since, from what I understand, you talking to him is what convinced him not to have everyone at this game killed. So, and then I slap her on the shoulder. Good luck teaching him how things work. Just remember, he's your boss and he can have you killed. Even worse, he can probably have you excommunicated. Kill your whole family. You should stand up to him just like you just stood up to me. Tell him how it is. Speak truth to power.
All right, well, yeah, there's something I could say, probably saying there some things I can't, but this is the last chance. Yeah. Anyway, I'll go do it.
Here's my alternative suggestion, Sargon. Talk to Adrian. He's the new first officer, captain of the ship when Pierre's not around. He has served as a junior and senior officer on a naval vessel. If there's anyone that can change Pierre's mind, it's Adrian.
All right, I'll see if I can get him before he gets in there.
All right, then I cross my arms like a vampire and slowly go back into the dark.
Homer Simpson back into the hedge wall.
You just bump into the wall.
Tell no one I'm here, Sargon. I'm waiting for the deck officer.
Right. So once she leaves, a few minutes later, Nero, you actually see Cade walking past down the corridor carrying a satchel heading in the direction of the room. Normally at this time on a Saturday night, he is learning his letters.
Mm-hmm.
Cade is actually a secret acolyte of the
I'm
Inquisition.
passively observing. So he's entering with a satchel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Passively observing. We'll talk later,
Yeah.
Cade.
All right, so Adrian,
Yes.
somewhere before you reach the where the game's taking place, Sargon does find you and pull you aside. Sir, I wanted to quickly talk to you before we go in there. The scuttlebutt on the ship is that the captain is doing this tonight. A lot of people have an eye on how this is going to turn out. You know, we've the crew's struggled a bit morale-wise over recent months. Obviously, the changes, the shore leave that wasn't on Quaddus. Obviously, the general sort of stick rather than carrot approach. I think that it's good. We're not talking mutiny here, but we're talking like the morale will take a serious hit if this, you know, whatever happens tonight isn't really thinking with the crew's interests in mind.
I understand. You're worried that the Lord Captain will crack down on the gambling.
He seems to be keeping an open mind from my conversation with him, but I don't know, he doesn't take insults well, and I don't know how well he would respond to, you know, a losing hand, for example.
You make a good point. I don't think the captain would be of the personality to bet anything that he would care to lose. I think he's far too prudent to do such a thing, so I don't think there's anything to worry about. But I'll keep an eye open, see what his mood is like throughout the evening, and hopefully ensure that this is a successful enterprise and that the morale of the ship will continue to maintain or improve.
All right. Thank you, sir.
I'm so glad
all right.
I passed that buck. So much was accomplished in that conversation.
So you guys end up heading into the room for the card game. Guido Berth is certainly there. Sargon does join. Cade comes in and sits over in the corner of the room and pulls out some books and begins studying. Not involved in the game. But shortly thereafter, Stein Bethor, your astropath, chief astropath, arrives. And once he enters the room as well, like he clearly loses his actual sight with Cade in the room, and he sort of feels his way over to go and sit down at the table.
Is this an anti-cheating method?
Yeah. They'd only let him play if he could convince Cade to come and sit in the room with him. So,
Okay.
So he can't read their minds.
Yes, those
This feels
braille
like a
cards.
cruel joke to the astropath, but I understand, I guess.
Yeah. Luckily, the cards are all embossed, so he can feel the symbol on the cards to work out what he's got in his hand.
It's just funny.
Yeah.
It feels like a cruel joke, but it's a serious matter. I understand.
Really, if you didn't want to play, you didn't have to play. All right. And other than that, there's probably about only 4 other people come to the table. Just, you know, once again, junior officers from, you know, lower decks in various roles. Clearly, you know, the table would hold more, but, you know, through just a bit of early conversation, you pick up that, you know, there were more people coming tonight, but suddenly found, you know, they needed to pull a double shift working on something, or, you know, that people definitely dropped out at the last minute. Clearly, a bit cowed by the idea of coming and playing poker against the Lord Commodore. Sorry.
Oh, they're afraid to shoot them? He's only done that once.
Yeah, he has no history of taking revenge on his subordinates at any point, right?
Just once.
So Berth speaks up finally. Lord Commodore, it's a pleasure to have you at our table. We'll get some drinks served shortly, but to start off with, would you like to cut the game deck? And he slides like a deck of cards over to you.
Why would I cut the deck? It's a perfectly fine. How would we play if I cut the deck?
Just take your hand and put it on the deck of cards and then pull up a random amount and separate the deck in two. He doesn't mean actually cut it in half. That'd be ridiculous. I say as I put my aviators back on. Matter. Not reflective.
That's right. It's like Dawn sits down, like, "What's up, bitches? Joker's a wild. It's double blind."
Yeah.
So you got Andy on the first round.
Chewing bubblegum, you know.
Why not just call it randomize the cards then? I don't. Okay.
The parlance of the game, sir.
Are you pretending to be bad at cards?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought was happening.
Am I convincing?
I'm not a character in this game, so.
Yeah.
I've got 2 sevens. Is that any good?
I just matched all the colors and symbols together in perfect sequential order. Is that good or bad?
It started with a jack, ended with an ace.
That's right. Sorry, I had 2 sevens. Oh, and also 3 kings.
Yeah.
I guess you'll just like take the thing and not really sure how to do it. You just grab it randomly and do the awkward like pick up place, then pick up place.
All right.
Just weirded out by the whole scenario.
So
also,
good.
Have a couple of bottles of the Ranker popped open.
All right, yeah. So some like someone from the commissary comes in to like serve drinks as well. I just need to quickly check. Is there let's see if the gamble mechanic actually applies specifically a measure of how you do, or it's just it's more of an open result.
If I somehow keep rolling below a 20 the entire time, I'll be amazed.
Well, let me ask you, Hondo, did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No, but I heard that story at the Jedi.
He only played on a big blind, you see, and that made it so that the stats against him were always in his favor.
He only played when he had a pocket pair. That's how you knew.
He folded most of the time, and he won he won anyway.
So Cade's presence in the room and the fact that it sort of dows everyone down does hamper friendly conversation somewhat. Everyone gets pretty serious into the game and focuses on their cards, and for the most part, people are betting things like extra rations or shift swaps. Like it's all the sort of nebulous ship stuff and such. Like if you start throwing in things of actual value, nobody's got anything to meet your raises and such. But like it's sort of
Pierre offers the George job assignment for all the shit nobody wants.
Pierre's betting with everyone else's like timesheets.
It's like value is subjective here.
Yeah,
his value is like, I guess a dinner night with the top cooks of the ship.
Have you ever had your face clean shaven by my personal barber?
Yeah, but it's more a case of like someone puts in like four square meals in a shift swap, and then Pierre like, no worries, I'll raise you this planet which I own. It's like
all in. What could it cost me?
He wouldn't go that far. He would probably like, oh, okay, we're offering food. Okay, well, I guess Pierre's rations are vastly different than everybody else's.
Yeah, Pierre's just all whenever Pierre bets, everyone else just has to go, all right, all in.
All right, so normally a gambling, so it's a single gambling roll for a whole session of play, basically. Rather, you don't roll per round.
Oh,
Now you can choose to roll either gamble or sleight of hand, depending on when you're whether you're actually gambling or cheating. Pierre, you will get a flat +10, even if you don't want it, because at the end of the day, people are intimidated by your presence and will not try to lose, but might not necessarily throw in the best. Like they won't take a chance against you if it's like, is he bluffing? They'll probably assume you're not bluffing, for example.
So my question is it obvious that they're doing so?
I think that for them, because they've been told not to, it's an unconscious thing. Like they're not deliberately trying to lose. They are just intimidated, and so that they play more conservatively and with less audacity than they might have otherwise played. So if you want, you can make a scrutiny roll if you want to determine that the people are a bit cowed by your presence.
Okay.
Stop trying to hit me and hit me.
That's a shame. I'll re-roll that. Why not? There you go.
Could I also get you please to make a willpower roll?
Astropath sheet.
Like,
No, the astropath can't do anything.
okay. Oh, I passed. All right.
Sargon,
Okay,
the
nice.
Daemon host, reveals her powers now.
These are actually tarot cards, and you're all intoxicated by the devil.
So while you're sort of scrutinizing the group and sort of paying attention to their actions, you get that sort of like that, that sort of weird feeling of like, I'm being watched, like that sort of shiver down your spine. You experience some sort of strange sensation. It's only momentary, but it's like you feel like you're not alone, or it's not just you people in this room, that someone is observing you from afar.
Like not in the room?
Yeah.
It's the marionette pulling strings at the game. Because they're extremely petty.
Yeah, I know the feeling, because someone feel like you can watch. You instantly go to the direction where you feel like you look. Who's
Sometimes I
watching
feel
me?
like a dozen to 100 people may watch me at any given time.
Yeah, it's an all pervasive feeling, and it's quickly quashed by Cade's presence.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, but yes, with your 1.7 degree success on scrutiny, you do determine that people are probably just they're playing a little bit more conservative than they would otherwise play.
Like they're not exactly. They're not like letting him win, but they're like, oh well, the captain must have a good hand. He bet.
Yeah. They're not like holding their cards up like cards showing you as such. Man.
What was that in? I got it.
The Simpsons when he joins the Stonecutters, and it's the Royal Sampler. You win again.
And then Don's like, no, he's off. He's got nothing.
Who keeps emotions under wraps? We do.
That's it.
I think when Pierre starts to notice their uneasiness, I think he would start sending an order to the cooks and stuff to get like what they would consider as like party game time food.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Bring the bacon-wrapped jalapeno poppers immediately. Of course, sir. And I shall make sure that bacon was simmered in bourbon beforehand.
Oh,
I'm gonna say, okay.
He would want to make sure
my
that,
personal reserve of truffles on top.
Truffles. I thought it was a chocolate, but instead it's a pig. No, both of those are wrong.
I was watching a car review on YouTube this week, and the guy reviewing the car seemed to equate every single storage space to the amount of junk food you could fit in it. Like, you know, like in the Dorset, you can get a big gulp and 4 Whoppers. You know, so it's like, you know, in this sort of console, I reckon you could probably get at least 6 Twinkies.
That's a pretty good measurement. Everyone knows.
I can't say that's not foolproof though. I mean, it's pretty foolproof. I was like,
Anyway, okay, so you no worries. You have extra food brought in and calm everyone down, and yep, you certainly annihilate your +10 bonus there.
excellent.
Bringing you back to a.
I didn't want to take any chances of passing.
Could I ask everybody who is participating, please, to roll me either a gamble or a sleight of hand check?
This is where you find out that Adrian's a fucking cheat.
And I'll roll for the 4 crew
He's a
members.
varmint.
I thought about it. But
I'm gonna re-roll that. I think.
Whoa, holy shit, Pondo.
Do I want to reroll?
What's it like getting absolutely destroyed?
I'll give it a reroll.
So, Dave, you can't
re-roll
re-roll a successful roll. You can only add a degree of success.
Fine, I'll add a degree of success.
I'll spend the fate point to reroll.
No worries.
Make Don.
Could I get anybody who spends a fate point, please also make a willpower roll?
Okay.
Okay.
Incredible.
Oh, this is a shit game. Okay.
Actually, James, I will not make a willpower roll because this is my weakness.
Okay.
How about that?
All right, 3.6.
Failed the gambling past.
Ladies and gentlemen, we call that role playing.
Yes, and.
Okay, so those of you that pass the willpower check also experience that same strange feeling of being watched. So Adrian experiences that too. Pierre, you know, even more, with the higher degrees there, it's there's definitely something tangible about this. But once again, it passes quickly from Cade's presence. It's almost like something is psychically watching you and is powerful enough to momentarily breach his defenses before being, quashed back down again. All right, so let's just see. Dawn got then without spending it, she got 0 degrees.
No, I got 1.7.
1.7. Yeah.
1.7 by spending this fate point to get there. Okay. So you still need to make the willpower roll then, because you still did do you still spent a fate point.
As I said, I won't do that.
You want to fail it automatically?
Yeah, I'll fail it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool.
Too into the game.
Guido got 0 degrees.
It's my weakness, bro. You know.
Yeah.
Crew members got -4 degrees of failure, 6 degrees of failure, and 1 degree of failure. Pondo got 1 degree or 0 degrees of failure, and Adrian got 4 degrees of failure. Okay. So, so overall, Dawn does indeed have, I believe, the best roll at 1.7. Yeah. So, Dawn takes the last, pot of the night. So a lot of those things, I don't know how people have to do your shift in the church. I'm not sure, but you probably, you certainly get like dinner with the Lord Captain. What were some of the things you threw in there, Pierre?
Like dinner with the Lord Captain, able to use like his groomer, his like cleaning area.
I like the idea that like basically all the people that lost have to come clean the pews in the church with toothbrushes or something like that.
Yeah. Sit on the captain's chair for X amount of time.
Guido Birth manages, like he does it. He drops out of the last round. Like he leaves with some of his stash intact. Like with his degree of success at least, he doesn't get completely cleaned out. Just doesn't.
But he loses his dignity at the table.
Yeah. He would have tied with him if only you didn't have fate. If only you weren't touched by the fates. Mm-hmm. I think everybody else ends up leaving with less than they arrived with. Yeah, so especially unnamed crew person number 2, who it's like
they're the one who's going to be cleaning the chapel.
Mailroom clerk.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's Dawn's bitch for the next week.
Yep.
So,
Pecking order
Otherwise,
has been
it's a-
established, gentlemen and ladies. You may return to your regular.
Otherwise, it's a pleasant evening. And Nero, this whole time you're hidden in the shadows. You see waiters coming and going, and you occasionally hear some subdued laughter in there before people start to file out.
Oh yeah. So I haven't described what Nero's in. He is in his He's in his official ship's uniform, like Master of Ordnance uniform. With all of the, I assume we haven't talked about it, but I assume we've issued campaign medals and such for like the campaign to lose the planet that exploded and the campaign to go save the Sisters of Battle. You know what I mean? Like, we've definitely had engagements and such where the captain would off screen have issued something, including some mark of his noble rank, and he just waits for Guido Berth to exit and says, "At attention, Mr. Berth."
Also, to point out to Pondo, is there anything that you want to say to anyone else before they leave? Like, you just let the night play out. You don't address you just participate and enjoy it, and then everyone leaves? Or do you want to take any other?
I think he would enjoy it. Be very confused as to rules. Like,
I think Adrian's sitting next to him, and it's occasionally just like, no, you want to keep that card.
So you want the cards to match then? Interesting.
yeah, like he's about to like fold because he has like a king and a queen. Like, well, neither of these match. What's the point of his hand?
yeah, you've got like Jack, King, Queen. Like,
He's about to get the royal flush, but then it just like puts it as like, well, this is a useless hand. What
You
am I
guys
gonna
playing
do?
Texas Hold'em?
All right, so yeah, so when Berth comes out there, you say that, and he instinctively, he's a deck officer, so he's probably, it takes a moment for him to process what he's being called to attention for, but he does, when he realizes what's happening, he does stand to.
Step into my office, Mr. Berth, Nero says into the flickering of the light.
Do you mean the corridor, sir?
Oh, yes. I want to talk to you face to face, Mr. Berth.
He steps in, still like at attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to loom over him. There were many endings to tonight's evening, Berth. A lot of them ended with you being tortured to death. Captain doesn't like it when junior officers attempt to get his attention. And that's why you're going to volunteer for all of the terrible jobs I have for the next 2 weeks. Cleaning out the Darkholds, mutant killing. You're going to volunteer every time I stick a duty up on the roster.
Duty.
And you're going to continue doing these duties until the end of this 2-week period where I'll reevaluate you. And if you come out the far side, grace and dignity befitting an officer of this ship, then you will be off of the senior officer shit list. Because you're never, ever going to try to pull this shit again. Adrian, not appearing in your games. Anyone whose rank seems like they're so far above you that you should be licking their boots is not invited to your games. You don't use the people there to try to manipulate the captain, because he knows your name now. And that's not the good thing you think it is. But if you show grace and dignity over the next few weeks, perhaps you might be able to climb back into some measure of neutrality in his esteem. Is this understood?
Yes, sir.
If you fail to show for any of these volunteer duties, I don't have to tell you all the bad things that will happen to you. Because I'm sure you know that I trained with an inquisitor in the arts of torture. But I was raised Akkadian, which means hazing the shit out of you for the rest of your fucking life will be incredibly easy. You are dismissed, Mr. Berth. I expect to see you tomorrow morning for the Darkhold sweeps.
He bids a hasty retreat.
All right, Nero smirks a little bit afterwards, but then he calls Ivy to turn the lights back to full functionality. He doesn't want to upset the spirit of the ship.
Yeah, I love the idea that you like specifically called Ivy, like, hey, I have this one corridor I need to use.
I mean, I'm called her to turn it off, right? Like, yeah. I set this whole thing up with her. I was like, listen, is the ship going to be okay with this? Like...
So, I mean, there's two ways she could do this. She can either like bring in like a faulty starter and put it in like the tubes, you know, or she can sit there like flicking the lights.
I feel like that's probably the one I insisted was.
You know what I actually thought?
Thanks, Ivy.
Ivy saying sorry occasionally as she's mashing the button.
For some reason, I saw Ivy as like the guy from down Periscope who's like the sound operator who has to like lick like the two lines.
Like, put me on the overhead. He puts the glove on.
Oh boy, down Periscope. Yeah, I mean, okay, so Nero's just restoring harmonious order to the junior officers in a way that only a senior officer can. Never ever try to get your name in front of the captain again.
All right, so yeah, there's like the bosun whistle kicks out across the ship as well, and followed by the sorry,
we're under attack.
No,
it's Gene Stealers. It's always Gene Stealers.
the ship is like all preparations have been made for warp travel.
Oh, we haven't done that yet?
Yeah.
I thought we were done that.
No, we're jumping in.
Yeah, we're headed out to...
I turn up, look up at the local Vox, and I'm like, wow, that's convenient. Well timed. Okay.
So, like, everyone sort of goes to duty stations ready for your orders to enter the warp. All the other ships that are traveling with you are all sort of, you know, coordinating as best they can their astropaths, sorry, the navigators together in order to do this. Before or when you get up to the bridge, Pierre, there is a message at your command throne from Riani, saying that would you contact her before you order the translation? She's in the Oculus, but can you just contact her on a private comm?
Okay. I'll go to the radar room and contact her on the private comm.
Lord Captain, thank you for contacting me. I just wanted to appraise you that the warp is tumultuous today. I haven't seen it this way in a bit, especially in an established sector like this. It's not that we can't translate, just that it could be rougher seas than normal.
Okay. Is that a bad thing?
Well, it just means that it may take us longer than expected, or the chance of something overcoming the hexagrammatic wards of the ship is higher. The crew should be aware that this will not be an easy journey.
All right, let me translate. Okay, so we're all on a ghost pirate ship, and she's wearing a navigator's hat, and she says, "Aye, Captain, the storms be restless tonight, and the seas be heaving too. Arr! Be a cursed voyage we set out on."
Is this James saying that I'm going to make sure something happens this time?
I mean, it sounds like James is saying +10 to the roll, but...
I hope this has nothing to do with the fact that I ignored a willpower check.
That's what did it, is that you're the one that ignored it.
Yeah.
Very well, Riani. I will trust your judgment on this. By the way, how strong are you that you were able to crush my Vambrace? I've been meaning to ask this for a while. I haven't found the time.
I apologize. I meant I didn't want to cause any. I hope I didn't hurt you.
No, you crushed the metal, which was very. I'm really just curious about that. That's like, how strong is your grip? Like
from on a scale of 1 to 100.
Like
that
enough
gorilla
to
grip.
take someone by the head and grip and crush it completely, or
I honestly I don't know, and I would hope you never asked me to do something like that.
okay, well I'll mark that off the book then.
I love the idea that he's like, next time I need to kill someone who's in my way, next time I need to kill an administrator to space station, have Riani crush their head with one palm.
Yeah. And then he's like, okay.
He's already got all the Nero wood sparked off.
Yeah. Well, because we've already done all of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Nero
right,
burns
yeah.
somebody to death is the only one left.
It's like what Powered by the Apocalypse playbook. You got all the different things you got to mark off.
Yeah.
Okay, but before I leave, how about opening your eye at someone to vanish them? Is that a no-go as well?
God, the captain is like, let me ask deeply personal questions real quick. I know you're busy getting ready to do your job where if you fuck up, we all get sucked into the warp and die, but...
It's going to be more difficult than normal. But...
If you need me to kill someone, Lord Commodore, I have several tools at my disposal. That is one. Like, if you need me specifically to do that to somebody, because it is not only a horrible way for them to die, but it destroys their soul.
I think like Pierre's like just has his face where he's just like, okay, it's not convincing me anything that I didn't want to hear.
Filing it away for later use.
I'm only getting information as to things that might come in use, like that.
I mean, I have a hell pistol. I'm okay with it.
Well, I mean, in case there's something that the hell pistol won't work, and like your eye, something specific, like maybe.
What are you asking if she has a Sharingan? Has she awakened the Mangekyo? Jesus.
Like, there's like.
Did you kill your sister to gain ultimate power?
Actually, yeah.
Will that be your Lord Commodore?
Like, in case I find my sister and she's beyond hope, and the only real good way to do it would be to kill her and her immortal soul.
Lord Commodore, I'll always follow your orders. I serve you in this ship and the people on it.
Okay.
So when the time comes, I will do what needs to be done.
Excellent.
All right, so we begin building a giant mirrored array to reflect a concentrator
a giant Fresnel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the eye does.
No worries, Archimedes.
And question about the eye, like if let's say you've heard of like these.
She's already hung up.
I have so many questions. I never get the time to see her. It's always Nero that gets to see her.
I feel like I literally must have a scene now where I go see her.
It's like literally Nero stepping in during the phone call.
All right, so we need to
make us roll.
Let's get you in the warp. Let me grab my navigating the warp stuff. Okay, so we know the duration is approximately 4 weeks to where you're going. Okay.
Whoops, I accidentally exited out of Roll20. I'll be right back.
Okay, so Potto's not making the first roll. Let's start with Riani's locating the Astronomicon, which is a +10 awareness test. Her awareness is 50. So I'll ask Arthur to roll under 60 for me, please.
Is that the one that includes the ship's What's it called?
detection capability to it?
Yes, it does. Sorry, yes.
All right, so as long as that's a 24 or higher, I'm good.
That's 25.
Boom! We got it. 0.1
Okay.
degrees of success.
Okay, so that will add 0 to the warp navigation test. Okay. Charting the course. Dave, would you please roll me a D100 underneath 55?
No dice.
Okay, so fail by 3. So that will take you a bit longer to reach where you're going. That's fine.
Okay, that's
More
expected.
rolling.
All right, and Spoon. We need a warp navigation test modified by the perception roll.
Which was plus 0.
Yep. So this is where you need to roll a.
Can I give my plus 10 to this? Because I think
Yes.
this is
Okay, so under 55, and if you fail, just try to roll as few 9s as possible. Okay, so you roll no 9s, you fail, but you roll no 9s, which means you'll just arrive not necessarily in the part of the system that you plan to go to. Okay, now it's gonna have to be 12 rolls on the warp
Jesus.
navigation.
Oof.
Okay.
Not kidding about the tumultuous journey part of this.
That's it. Okay, so I'm going to start with roll 1. Okay, so 64 or 49. So it's either Gellerfield fluctuations or a warp storm. So warp storm will damage the vessel. Gellerfield fluctuations may mean that some things may get inside the ship.
Gene stealers.
They're not in the warp.
They're wherever they want to be, James.
The gene stealers that were already on the ship become demonically possessed.
No. I can work this out. Okay, they were in a space Hulk floating nearby in the warp.
the Gene Stealer demonic possession happened, and it was.
Oh, from Wrath and Glory, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's. I was like, haha, I'll make
It's literally
you feel
the worst
that.
combination of cards you could possibly get.
it was very unfortunate. But yeah, no. I don't know if we really want the engine to get damaged.
The ship the hull gets damaged.
Oh, the hull gets damaged? Well, still.
It's not like we're
ship-
going into the largest combat action we've ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just to get you to Port Wonder. This is not. It's not going to drop you into the Jericho Warp Gate.
That's what you're telling us, but we still got 11
We
more
don't want to
rolls.
spend extra time getting repaired. I'd say we'll just take the Gellerfield fluctuations.
So make a note of that. Okay, so Gellerfield.
Sargon
Okay.
Spitzer, now possessed.
Okay,
Gets
second
possessed.
one. Wow, I'm rolling great. 4 or 42. Plague of Madness or Visitations?
Let's go with Visitations.
Okay.
Plague of
Yeah.
Magnus doesn't sound quite ideal.
Okay, all right. So that's you. All's Well or Warp Storm?
Go with All's Well.
All's- Yeah.
I already got
Shocker.
fluctuations.
Oh, it's going great.
Jesus.
Okay. Okay, shoals and reefs, which is another one that may damage the ship, or visitations again. I think we're going with visitations.
Visitations.
Okay.
But our
let's-
cruise is going to be like, yep, saw my dead mother for the 14th time this week.
okay.
What is it, crossing over with John Edwards? That guy on our crew is about to make bank.
Okay,
Oh God,
so
John Edwards. Holy shit.
once again, shoals and reefs, which is damage, or another Gellerfield fluctuation. More stuff gets on board.
Jiminy Christmas. I guess fluctuation.
Okay, Gellerfield. Right, you're almost
I like how
halfway.
you prioritize the external sturdiness of the ship and not the crew being taken over by demons.
I don't know what's the correct choice, really.
Okay, ghost ship or Gellerfield fluctuation. So ghost ship means that you detect something in the warp.
Or the
Amazing.
third
It's a Space Hulk, and it's Gene Stealers.
Gene Stealers.
I'm gonna go with Ghost Ship because you can always ignore it if you want to, but we'll come back to that scene when we. Okay, you're halfway now.
Yeah, go ship.
All right.
Why not?
So 61 or 35. So another. So Shoals and Reefs or Warp Storm. Either way, it's going to damage the vessel. So
What damages it less?
it's going to depend upon how well the navigator rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, Shoals and Reefs is the better one though. Those two.
I'd say the better of the two.
All's well.
Finally.
Okay. Then we've got 57, 54. So they are the same. They are a Warp Storm.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
James internally cackling. It's like, yes.
I'm rolling brilliantly. So Warp Storm or Visitations. More Visitations, I'm guessing.
I'm going to go with Vegetation.
Yep. My mom, my dad, my great aunt Susie stopped by.
Warp Storm or Ghost Ship. It's kind of the Ghost Ship.
Yeah.
And finally, all's well.
Okay.
So
Jesus.
okay, so I can mark off the all's well weeks. So they're all sorted out.
It's going to be a long voyage.
Yeah, we've got one Shoals and Reefs and one Warp Storm. Okay, so for the Shoals and Reef, it's actually the helmsman that rolls. So I need you, please, whoever's piloting the ship, to make a pilot spaceships roll at +0.
How about the guy who's good at piloting? I'll do it. No.
Stand back, boys. I've got this.
With my hotshot pilot, that gives me a +10.
Yeah, I'm sure Pierre will tell you to do it better. There you go. Okay, so
can I tell them to do it better all these times? That would also be
yeah,
nice.
that's fine. Okay, so you avoid any damage. So effectively, there are physical manifestations of the warp crate, like reefs that the ship has to navigate through, but you manage to avoid any damage because of your skilled navigation. For the Warp Storm, someone needs to roll for Riani. So with Pierre's bonus, you're under a 55.
Okay, I'll do it. 54.
Ooh, just okay. So it'll be 1d5 minus 1 damage. So it'll be a 4. So you take 3 hull damage.
Ouch. Okay.
I'll mark it off.
Okay.
On the hand. It's good. It's weird how it's on the sheet. So hull is now at. I think your hull was fully repaired previous. Yeah. Okay. So it's down to 35 and 38 now.
Because it didn't take any damage during the one fight.
Yep.
That was all the Eternal Praetorian.
Yeah. It was a good chunk. Hurt a lot.
Okay, so I'm gonna I don't need to play through any specific. Actually, well, there's one thing I will play through, but needless to say, a lot of people spend time experiencing, dire warnings or lost loved ones or the like. A lot of them sort of lead you to fear that something has happened to the other ships in your fleet. Like people see ghosts of people in the uniforms of the other ships. Apparently dying or the like. We'll see when you actually get there whether that actually happened or not.
The ghost ship is the 2 other ships. We encountered them, and the first one is like, Lord Captain Pierre Cowles, I am the ghost ship of Christmas past. The second one is, I am the ghost ship of Christmas present. There was never a third ship.
Okay, so about halfway through your journey, there is the Master of Etherics, Bellator Hadaway, pings the sort of sounds like general quarters, and then indicates, Lord Commodore, we are picking up a vessel about 600,000 kilometers to our port bow. They appear to be adrift in the warp.
Nero shows up on the bridge eating a pear, going, "It's a trap. It's Gene Stealers."
I'm getting fluctuating Gellerfield readings.
Well, okay, is it a series of ships or just one ship?
No, single ship.
Single ship?
Yes.
We can
It's,
put them out of their
what
misery,
kind of
Lord
ship?
Captain.
Sorry?
Can we determine what kind of ship?
It's Imperial light cruiser scale. It's got power, Gellerfield.
Can we see any signs of life?
The warp's damaging our etherics too much.
Interesting.
We should probably open fire and put them out of their misery. It's better than them being destroyed by demons for all eternity. Just another bite of the pear.
That is certainly one option that we could take, Lord Commodore.
What would the Navy do in this situation, First Officer?
In this situation, the Navy would probably ignore the ship. It seems to have power in Geller fields.
Did we just hear that their Geller field is flickering?
Yes, as has our Geller field several times during this journey so far.
Yeah, but we're not adrift. They are.
Then that means something has happened to their navigator.
Breaks the silence with a crunch of the pear again.
And we only have one navigator to go around.
Nero laughs because he knows that's not true.
Oh, is
we got
Wolfius
our backup boy? Yeah,
okay.
We got the crazy guy.
Yes, let's put him in the ghost ship and have him.
The 30 pounds of glass a day guy.
Yeah, how can I forget that?
Hey, look, man. When all you've got is a wrench, everything looks like it needs to get hit by a wrench.
Can we see any sort of markings on it, like signifying like name?
We can't open our visual, like we can't open our the shields over our windows without exposing the crew to the warp.
We would go mad, sir.
Yeah. Everything's my instrument in the warp. We could ask Riani, contact the Oculus, he might be able to tell us more.
Yes. See if we can put her through.
I don't think she can see 600,000 kilometers.
We could, sir, get close enough that our Geller field covers theirs and take a gun cutter over.
That doesn't sound like a good idea in case there's something demonic in there.
Indeed.
Lord Captain.
What if it's
emergency
your
situation
sister?
only, sir?
Yeah, what if it's your sister? The only way we can be sure is if we blow it up immediately.
I didn't say that in character, by the way.
I would say that
Somebody did.
Master Bullet's suggestion is second on the list, only to leaving it behind, sir.
There might be something interesting on there, but it might be better off we leave it to be.
This could be the Star Trek episode, though.
I mean, you're right,
we
Lord
got-
Commodore.
yeah.
We could board that ship, find out that it's mostly intact and salvageable, and end up bringing yet another ship into your fleet. That's always a possibility.
It is indeed.
I'm sure the Game Master can whip up a sufficient encounter. Maybe it'll be like
In the
3
8 minutes on break.
episode long arc.
When the
Leave it
riders
be.
went on strike, basically.
Dungeon crawl through the ship.
I think Adrian looks at the Master Etherics. Do we know what type of light cruiser this is, or
We would need to approach it. I mean, we will probably pass within, at our current heading in speed, we'll probably pass within about 30,000 kilometers of it in the next 2 hours.
Okay. I mean, that's literally like we run out the guns, we fire the guns, and the guns hit like nearly instantly, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
30,000 is pretty close?
Yeah, I'm just like that's way too close for a ship with a malfunctioning Geller field in the warp, sir.
Also, one that outmasses us significantly.
Yeah, but that's not a problem. Nero says.
It
Another
is
cr- another crunch of the pair.
if their guns run out and broadside us.
You make a good point. I guess the only option will be for us to shoot first.
I think the other option is we just ignore it for now. And I guess monitor in case as we go by it tries to close distance.
Something ships in the night. Something. I feel like there's several poems about this.
Let's do that. Let's try to avoid it as much as we can. And monitor in case it tries to close.
Okay. So as you fly by, eventually the Master of Etherics identifies that it is a Dauntless class light cruiser. It's not broadcasting any sort of title or name. It's just hanging there in space, and it seems to. It doesn't scan you. It doesn't take any other action.
We make sure to check to make sure there's no St. Elmo's fire or... Look, man, I'm just going back to the poetry.
So we get close enough to see the name. It says Mary Celeste on the side.
The event horizon.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis is hanging under the side of the ship. You know, like,
Yeah, I'd say we just keep ignoring it. With the flickering Geller field in the warp, there's probably more than enough ample opportunity for.
Yeah, there is. So at this rate, they do identify there is evidence of damage to the ship as well. Like whether it's damage from the warp or damage from arms fire, it's hard to tell. But there is, it's certainly like it's leaking plasma as well. So at this point, someone, not klaxon, but like the ping goes off again, and the guy says, we're picking up a second vessel now. It's 400,000 kilometers ahead of us. Frigate class, Imperial.
Fluctuating Geller field, anything?
Yes, worse so than this one.
Okay, we're definitely ignoring that one.
Okay.
Wait a second, sir. We can see the markings on the side of the hull that says SSV Normandy SR2. I think we should investigate this one.
So you're going to avoid the second ship as well?
Think so.
Okay.
Unless, like, if we drive by, see if it's even more damaged or not.
Okay. Well, so Riani will have to navigate slightly because this one is in your path, so she'll just fly around it, but you'll still pass relatively close.
All right.
When you do get close, the Master of Etherics says, we've got some more information here. It's a Firestorm class frigate. It is broadcasting a signal. This can't be right. Lord Commodore, it's identifying itself as the Hand of Calixis.
Nero takes a bite of a second pear and says, I've seen this one before, Lord Commodore.
the guy that said it might be your sister's boat is just like,
now it's now the time we take a break. I can tell that Dave is looking pretty wrecked, and I have to drive 3 hours to Canberra this afternoon. Should we maybe, rather than going to a break now, should we maybe consider doing some outros and come back to this next time? How do you feel, Arthur and everybody?
That sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
When the GM asks,
Yeah.
can we end here? I don't go, no, you must stay for another 2 hours. I assume we get full XP though, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I don't penalize people for that sort of
150 experience.
300 XP. We can, and you guys can work out what you want to do with the duplicate Hand of Calixis.
does it have like
board?
Don has a goatee, and the rest of us don't have goatees.
Yeah, we come back aboard, and Don has the goatee, and real Don is just on the ship somewhere going, no.
Fake Dawn and Real Dawn have a poker match, but are equal in every way?
It will definitely be a Star Trek episode.
That's what I'm
I mean,
saying, man.
listen, are we doing original series or are we doing Deep Space Nine? Because we've done this twice now, so.
Arthur, you can get a second locked chest.
Oh, listen, now that, to invade their ship, no, but it's like a tower defense game, right? Like, do I invade their ship and get their chest, or do I defend mine from the obviously greedy, evil Nero?
It's called, there's a video game called Castle Doctrine, which is exactly that conundrum.
The two of us are just gonna have to fight in space in our exosuits with the helmet close, just blind fighting each other to death.
Yeah,
we're gonna end with the Dylan man shake. You son of a bitch! You're too good for me to defeat.
And just so you know, because you rolled so fantastically, it's going to take 4 months to actually arrive in Port Wonder.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Everybody else is gonna be there. The Navy's gonna be like, I guess they're dead.
Yep.
We're going home. Ah, fantastic. James, let's start with your outro.
I am Grimdark James. You can find me here on Wednesdays normally, but not this Wednesday for Cyberpunk.
Or the next Wednesday.
Or the next Wednesday. At some Wednesday, at some point in the future, I'll be here for Cyberpunk, but I will definitely be here next Saturday for Rogue Trader, where we will discover the mysteries of the warp. Otherwise, find me on Arthur's Discord. I have my YouTube channel going again now with some new content, which is YouTube/Grimdark Podcast. I think that works these days. I'm also about to change up my Twitter slightly as well. I've got a plan to do some more stuff with Twitter soon. Yeah, otherwise, that's me. I had a good time. It's always fun playing with you guys. I'm glad that we got to get the whole poker game sorted out, because I completely forgot about that before you guys reminded me about it during the week. No, I'm not YouTube/Grimdark Podcast. I have some. I'm YouTube/channel/UCCRRC7PGANW, etc. So just look up Grimdark Podcast on YouTube.
You need to get a Bitly for sure.
Yep.
Dave, what do you got?
I'm dying. Next.
Dave, I thought you were going to fight till you see the sunlight.
Oh, yeah. Double vaccination, man. It's no fun.
Yep, the second dose hits pretty hard.
That's me. Thanks for playing, watching, wiggling.
Okay. You know, speaking of someone who's known to wiggle, Pondo the Man.
I am Ponder and Ponder the Man. You can find me on YouTube or Twitch/Ponder the Man. At some point, I'll get back to the streaming and recording. As at some point, I might have to get a side hustle. I don't know. I might if I have to pay $700 for a tux.
I'm telling you, man, you have to follow the words of the song. As you know,
Only
song
fans.
lyrics are never wrong. You have to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Yep.
You just call the place and secretly rent it and just tell them you've bought it.
Yeah, no. As far as that, you can find me here every Saturday night. That's about it for now. Yeah.
Big Spoon. You playing 7 days?
I am, yes. I plan on actually logging in once we wrap up here.
Oh, good. Listen, if you could find me a deer and haul it back to my slowly evaporating corpse, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah. So I am Big Spoon. You can find me over on Twitter at BigSpoon223. I'm over on Arthur's Discord. I'm here Saturday nights, and then whenever I am in the chamber for Solaris Nights, which is heating up, baby.
Seth Ghostbear getting into trouble? That's
no,
ridiculous.
not at all. Not
I
at
heard
all.
he's above board now.
Yeah, it's he's the I was talking to Dynamis the other day about how like I feel like when we started, like Seth was the wild card of the stable who fucked all the shit up and like was getting into trouble all the time, and now I feel like everyone else is their shenanigans are overtaking my own.
Star Commander Seth.
That's
Martial
right.
Olympian.
Olympiad. Yep.
The Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Listen, that was
Kurt
Kurt Angle's
Angle.
best years.
Yeah. No. And like, so like, if the dude hadn't have been like no longer Clan Ghost Bear Seth, if he would have incorporated that, I would have been all for it, man.
Okay. All right. That's it for us. We have to put Dave to bed and James to Canberra. So I don't know what we're doing with Pondo. Have a good night, everybody.
Everyone.
Take it easy.